first week of December, we also enter the beginning of a new liturgical year, a new year in the church, and we enter into one of the most beautiful seasons of the church year. No, it's not Christmas, it's the season of Advent. And what we're going to do during the season of Advent is we're going to look each week at the gospel for that Sunday, rather briefly, and then we're going to go back and look at the Old Testament reading for that Sunday to see how the two connect. Advent, I think, is a time when some of the richest readings in the Old Testament are presented to us by the church. When I teach Old Testament, what I teach students in high school is that the reason we study the Old Testament is that the New Testament is already hidden in the Old Testament. And if we know the Old Testament readings, they will help us to understand much better how those readings are brought to fulfillment in the life of Jesus and in the life of the church. As we enter into the season of Advent, in our natural world outside, we know we are entering into a season of darkness. The days get shorter every day until December 21st, the shortest day of the year. Our readings for the first Sunday of Advent are about light and darkness. Briefly, we look at the New Testament reading, and Jesus is talking about being prepared. And he uses two words that are really kind of capture the whole reading of the gospel: stay awake, stay awake. And he says, you do not know when the Son of Man will come. Stay awake. And of course, when we're awake, it's light outside. So we need to wake up during these days of darkness. Let's look at the first reading, which is from the second chapter of Isaiah. And in this reading, Isaiah says, "In days to come, the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established as the highest mountain and raised above the hills. All nations will stream toward it. Many peoples will come to it." And Isaiah ends that reading by saying, "O house of Jacob, come. Let us walk in the light of the Lord." And you see more than one candle here. The candles represent not only individual persons, but individual nations. So as we begin this season of Advent, we can be encouraged not only to think about ourselves, how am I preparing for the coming of the Lord? What do I long for? But let's take on ourselves the longing of the nations. In this reading is hidden the meaning of the church. The church is to be, as we've said in other sessions, the light of the world. Is it our hope? Is it our dream that all peoples of all religions, all nations will stream toward the church and the mystery of Jesus Christ? So as we enter into this season, let's get caught up in the big picture, thinking of Jesus as the light of the world, thinking of all nations as streaming toward him. To put it in modern language, this is what we call the new evangelization.